Hey everybody, it is Thursday. Woohoo! We're almost to the weekend. I hope you guys have wonderful plans for Easter. I know we have all kinds of crazy plans. I missed you guys yesterday. We had a crazy hectic evening and all kinds of different things was going on, and I was unable to make it. So I am hopping on early today because we had egg hunt this morning, and then now we have a band competition to go to here in a little bit. So I just wanted to pop on here so I didn't miss out on you guys today. Um, I talk about Trent Shelton all the time. We're going to see him Saturday. I'm super excited about that. But I was listening to a podcast of his yesterday, and it really started having me think about what we do and how our daily lives and activities matter. And I wanted to share with you some takeaways that I took from that podcast, and I hope that you can take something away from them as well. So if you're on here live, as always, drop a 1 in the comments. If you catch it afterwards, drop a 2. And at any point, if you feel like anything is super valuable to you, please, please, please let me know. So I just want to start thinking about this. When we're thinking about life and who we are as a person and the people around us, are we good soil or are we bad soil? And so what do I mean by that? So you know that when you're planting, if you have ever done a garden or a flower bed or anything like that, if you live where I live, we have a lot of red sandy dirt, and nothing will really grow very well in red sandy nasty dirt, right? But if you have that soil that's full of nutrients and full of all kinds of value for the plants, then you're going to get a very, very beautiful garden, very beautiful flower bed, or whatever it is that you're using that soil for. But how can you apply that to life? So if you're good soil for the people around you, what are you doing? Are you doing something that's affecting them in a positive manner, or are you bad soil? So are you producing good fruits and good vegetables and beautiful flowers, or are you just, so because you're just that decent soil? So great soil produces great fruit, right? It's all about how you grow others and how you impact them. And so I'm going to get to this point a little bit later on, but I want to say it right now. It doesn't matter whether you think it or not, you have an impact on people. Like, you always have an impact on people, regardless if you mean to or not. There are people that you impact daily, and sometimes we just don't realize it, which is understandable because we get in our lives and we get going, and we just don't understand. We just don't think about how many people we actually impact. If you work, if you have kids, if you are part of a church community, if you have friends, family, you impact somebody. The only way that you don't impact somebody is if you are a hermit crab and you literally sit at home and do nothing. And even if you sit at home and do nothing and you would have to not use social media. So you never posted anything, you never talked to anybody, you literally just sat at home in a room practically. If that's you, then maybe you don't impact anybody. But if you have any interaction with anybody, you're going to be impacting them. So this is going for, this topic today is not just in business or what I do. It can even be your children. Like, you are the biggest influence to your children, and it's so important to always remember that. So what do people see when they see you? Like, what do they see? What do they see that you're about? The way that Trent Shelton explained it was, are you a real model or are you a role model? And that hit super hard for me because all of our lives we're told to be a role model for people, but be a role model. But really, we need to start saying we should be a real model. We should be a real model because real models do what they preach. Real models show you what they believe in by their actions. Their actions are so loud that they don't even have to speak and you know what they're about. Role models, on the other hand, are just that. It's a role. They're playing a role. And I've never thought of it like that. And so I thought that was super, super powerful, that role models are just doing something to be doing it. But that doesn't mean that they believe in it. Doesn't mean they're genuine in it. It doesn't mean that that's actually what their values are. So when you're looking at life, that's what's one thing. Ask yourself, like, am I actually believing in myself? If I say it, do I really mean it? And when I say that, it's so important because there's a lot of times we get wrapped up in thinking like, oh yeah, that's great. Yeah, that's a great thing to do. Or, oh yeah, I'm going to be like this. But you don't believe it. And so, like, the example that I was thinking of is I talk about products and what I do for business all the time. I'm always talking about that on social media. I don't say that I believe in these financial products and educate people on them without having my own products that I'm talking about. Because I believe in them. I believe in fixed index annuities. I believe in IULs. I believe in all the stuff that we do. We have a fixed index annuity. We have an IUL policy. We have critical illness policies, accidental cancer. We have all of this stuff I talk about because I believe in it. And I would never ever want to go to somebody for advice or listen to somebody that doesn't believe in what they actually are talking about or trying to, help you with. So when you're talking to people about anything, whether it's your belief in your religion or your, whatever religious beliefs you have, if it's your belief in the school system or your job or the government, whatever it is, do you really believe that? Or are you just kind of filling people with false words that they want to hear? And what kind of people do you have in your life that don't actually believe in it, but are putting up that front, acting like a role model like they do? So when we're talking about these topics today, it's not just what you do, but think about the people in your life and like what people fit into these particular categories, and maybe like how do you start taking your time away from those people that aren't really doing the best for you? Actions and lifestyles are going to bring value to others every time. Your actions and your lifestyle is going to bring so much value, more value to them than the words that come out of your mouth. Okay, number 2. So when you're in a situation, are you vulnerable? Do you try to be perfect, or do you offer that opportunity to show that you're not perfect? Because it's okay to not be perfect. We're not supposed to be perfect. We're humans. It's also okay to let your kids know that you're not perfect from time to time. Now, you want to set the example for them, absolutely. But it's okay if your kids see that you get upset. It's okay that if they see that you get stressed out, because they need to see that you're a real person. They need to see that you have the same emotions and the same the same feelings that they do. You're real, and they need to know that. But what you do with it is the most important lesson for them. So you get upset, you get frustrated, you have those moments, you get stressed out. That's fine. But what are you going to do? Like, what action are you going to do, or what actions do you do that allow for your kids to see that you're taking that moment and utilizing it for the best? Or do you simply, people sit around and you just mope in your feelings because things didn't work the way you wanted them to? You're mad because somebody else got the job and you didn't. And so then you go home and you share that with your kids and your family, and that's what they see. Instead, if you were to not get the job or not get whatever it is that you were working for, get back up and keep working, they're going to see that. Kids see a lot of silent actions that we don't realize. So, do you mope or do you get up and keep grinding? Whatever it is, just remember somebody else is seeing it. And then, like I mentioned, I'm going back to the fact of being an influencer. You are an influencer. And an influencer is a big word in our world now because of social media. You hear social media influencers. Doesn't mean you're a social media influencer, but you are influencing somebody every single day. You could simply walk into a gas station, buy a Coke and a candy bar, and influence that person that's at the register. It's crazy. So, everyone is contagious. If you're upset, it wears off on other people. Your energy and your vibe is so contagious to those that you interact with. So what are you putting out that other people are going to catch? And this can be flipped the other way. So what are you hanging around that you can catch that can influence you? It's all about the perspective of looking at your life and the type of people that you're with, the type of actions that you're doing, and all of these little bitty things that I've talked about so far. These little bitty tiny moments that you could tweak in your life can actually help, like, the outcome of what your goals are, your dreams are, your work life. They can help so many areas of your life. And so when you're thinking about people, there's always those like negative Nancy's around, and every time you're around, you feel like they have you down. So, be careful who you surround yourself and your family, not just yourself, but your family with, because you can catch those bad vibes. And sometimes when you catch some bad vibes, it's really hard to eliminate them and get rid of it once you have those emotions and those feelings and those thoughts in your head. Number 3, how do you interact with people? This one is really important because our world and our life is so go, 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 go. We are on the go 24/7. Everybody's busy. It feels like we never have a time to breathe. So think about when you're interacting with people, how are you interacting? People want to be heard, seen, and valued. So when you're working through life and you're interacting with people, there's 3 different stages of listening. So when I say these, I want you to think about things in your life, and I want you to think of who in your life falls into these categories. You're going to fall into one of them, and be honest with yourself. But you're going to fall into one of these categories. But also think about who else in your life falls into those categories and how it makes you feel. Because then you'll really start evaluating the way that you're handling things, with other people and how you're communicating with people. Communication is massive. So many times all we're doing is we're on our phone, we're doing this, and we're not engaging with people. The lack of engagement in our world has significantly decreased over time. So number 1 is a hearer. When people are talking, you're there, but your mind's still going 90 to nothing. You're distracted with your phone and background noises, and you hear their voice, but you aren't taking in the words that they're saying. So from time to time, I go through all 3 of these stages I'm fixing to talk about. I do. I think everybody does. But from time to time, I will be in the office like I am right now, and I will be working, and the kids will come in and just instantly start, blah, 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 and I'm like, I hear them, but I'm right here, and I'm not taking in anything they're saying. And so I tell them, look, you're going to just have to hold on 1 second. Let me finish my thought and let me come back to you, because I want to be the listener. I want to be the engager. I want to make sure that I'm hearing them and paying more than just hearing. I want to do more than just hear, right? I want to engage with them. And so I have to step back for a second. Number 2, listener. So this is a little bit higher level of listening, of course, of engagement. But you're still not 100% into the conversation. You're probably not on your phone at this point, but your mind's still going. You're listening to their voice and what they're saying, but instead of adding on to the conversation, you instantly change the subject and want to talk about something else and go on to the next thing. In the podcast, Trent Shelton mentions when you're watching an interview, and it's 2 people are talking, one person's interviewing and one person's telling their story or whatever. And the person that's actually interviewing, this person finishes their sentence. And instead of just feeding off of what they said, they ask a question completely off the wall that's not even related to what that person was talking about. And it's because it's scripted and they have a certain script they have to stick to. So when you're in life and you're talking to people and you're engaging with people, whether, like I said, it could be your kids, it could be at work, church, family, whoever, when you are interacting with people, are you actually taking in what they're saying and then building on it? Or are you just sitting there and you hear what they're saying, but you already have another question built in your head and it doesn't matter what they say? The next part of listening is 3, be the understander. And I don't think understander is a word, but whatever. So be the understander. When someone says something and someone's talking to you, thank you, Ashley. When someone's talking to you and they are having a conversation with you, you listen to them. You are engaged with them. You're having that one-on-one conversation. And then when they say a statement, the next step is to ask a question that actually deepens that conversation. So you are leading off of every single thing that person says. And at this point, if you're this type of a communicator, you probably don't talk very much. And that's always good. I know for me, when I am meeting new people in the organization I'm with, when I met some of my mentors of my organization, I left a lunch with one of them, and I was like, dang, I felt like I talked the whole time. But it's because he was digging things out of me, asking me questions, trying to get to know me. And so that's when you're the understander. You are communicating directly what they say and respond to them directly. And then you're always present in the moment of that communication. So again, like I said, when my kids come in and they're just blah all over the place and I'm not ready, I have to tell them, you have to just give me 1 second, let me stop so I can turn and listen and talk to you. Be the understander. Number 4, the last one. So what potential do you see in others around you? So what kind of potential are you seeing in others? When you're working with whatever, whoever you're working with, even your kids, this one can be difficult with your kids because you do expect them to have so much potential, but then you want to fix them and correct it and all that stuff that we do as parents, right? So, but what potential are you seeing in others? When you are interacting and talking and working with people, are you treating them at their highest potential? Are you treating them like the inner beast that they have inside of them, that you know they have, but they don't realize they have it? And so if you treat them as they are at the current moment versus treating them with the potential that they have, you're not building them up. Because now you got them at a point where they're just level and like you're just treating them for where they're at. But when you start looking at them and you start building them up and you start giving them that confidence that they can do this and they can do that and they can do better, that's when you really start seeing those people grow around you. And so the example Trent Shelton had used was amazing. He said that his son was playing basketball one day and he was shooting a basketball and he kept airballing it. And he just kept telling him every single day, son, you're a shooter. You're a shooter, you're a shooter, you're a shooter. You are a shooter. You are going to make baskets. And after like 2 weeks, he was making baskets because it built up that self-confidence in him. And I believe now in the times that we live in, self-confidence is one of the least high valued character traits people carry. It's hard to have really good self-confidence in the world we live in. There's so much media, there's so many trolls, there's so many different things going on in the world that it's hard for us to really believe in ourselves. Thank you, Ashley. Yes, but it's so difficult because we're always comparing ourselves to each other. I tell my husband all the time because we see everything on social media, and he's like, "Dang, did you see such and such had this and such?" I'm like, "Yeah, but everybody has their own story. Everybody has their own life. Everybody has their own thing. You cannot compare yourself to what other people have, what they're doing, and where they're at in life." And with social media and with even media in general, not even so, I love social media because I think it's great to network. But with social media in general, you literally cannot compare yourself. And people do it every minute of the day. And so when we are working with people and we are engaging with the people around us, remember, always build them up. We know what we see in them and we know what potential they have, and you have to build them up. And even like with your employee and your spouse is going to go through things in life. We all go through different things in life. We have life situations that come up, and there may be a time that your spouse is down and out, but you know that your spouse is, like a king or a queen, and that they have these amazing talents and these amazing skills, but you have to speak that life into them. So always remember that you are an influencer and you make a difference in every person that walks in front of you. How you communicate and how you interact with people makes massive, massive differences, and you can make massive shifts in the people that are in your life each and every day. I'm Kaylee. I'm the teacher of finances. Thank you so much for your engagement, Ashley. I am so excited to start my new series that I've been doing with you guys with the different days and different weeks. And so that's what I have for Thankful Thursdays. And that was just, talking about ways that we can be better in the people we have around us and being thankful for the people we have around us and how we can influence people. I hope you have a wonderful, wonderful Thursday, and I will see you guys tomorrow for Freedom Friday. I'm so excited about having the freedom to do whatever I want on a Friday. Anyways, have a good afternoon.